What's up, Envoys? Today is the start of a brand new series I'm calling Warframe Academy. In this series of videos, we're going to teach new and or returning players the basics of Warframe like modding, mastery rank, and star chart progression, up to more advanced info for endgame content like Eidolon hunts and Deep Archimedia. But like all series, we're going to have to start somewhere, and today we will start with the very basics, modding. Now, this is your modding screen. Every Warframe's modding screen looks the same with some exceptions. But before we continue, we need to talk more about polarities. Polarities are the symbols found in the modding slots or can be added with Forma. There are 8 different polarities in total, and they are the following. Materai or the V polarity. These mods deal with damage and power, examples being continuity or intensify. Vazarin, or the D polarity, these mods normally deal with defense, health, or armor, similar to Vitality, Steel Fiber, and Redirection. Naramon, or the Dash polarity, these mods deal with utility or mods that don't fall under the umbrella of the other 2 previously stated polarities. These mods include Flow and Energy Nexus. Xeneric, or the Scratch polarity, these mods are normally Warframe augment mods like Fused Reservoir and Chromatic Blade, in addition to a few melee stance mods. Unairu, or the R polarity, these are mostly melee stance mods. Renjaga, or the Y polarity, these are companion mods like Fetch and Charm. Umbral, or the U polarity, these mods are exclusive to Umbral Vitality, Fiber, Intensify, Sacrificial Pressure, and Steel. This polarity comes with Excalibur Umbra and his weapon. However, this polarity can be added to any Warframe and melee weapon with an Umbral Forma. Finally, the Any or the O/Universal polarity. This comes inherent on certain Warframe slots like Jade and Protea, and with the recently added Omniforma, this can be used on any Warframe companion or weapon to match the polarity regardless of the mod, with the exception to the Umbral mods. Now, with the polarities out of the way, let's move on to each section of your modding screen. Over to the left, you will find your mod capacity. The left number is how much capacity you have left, and the right is your total capacity. Below the capacity, you will find the stats that pertain to your defenses, energy, and speed. And beneath that, your ability stats, which directly affect your abilities. Speaking of abilities, this section here is where you can find what abilities you have. By hovering over each one, you can see a brief description of what they do in addition to their stats. At the top, you will find configs. Here is where you can have multiple different builds if you so choose. You will always have 3, and an extra config does cost plat. To the far right, you'll find some additional options like linking your build, changing the name of your configs, and duplicating a mod config to another config slot. Now, moving back to the middle, we will start with the Aura slot. This slot is used for mods that give some passive boost to your Warframe. In addition, you increase your mod capacity by the cost of the mod, and matching the polarity will double it, which we will go over matching polarities later on in this video. The slot to the right of the Aura is called the Exilis slot. This slot deals with some movement boosts, small stat increases, and a few select augment mods. In the middle below your Aura and Exilis slots is where the majority of your modding will take place. You have 8 slots for any of the mods you have available to you and will increase the power of your abilities or Warframe stats. Do note, Aura mods cannot be placed in this section, but Exilis mods can. Over to the right is your Arcanes. You get 2 slots and are available after you unlock Steel Path, which will allow you to further augment your Warframes with additional powerful buffs. Finally, on the bottom, you will find some more options. The one you want to focus on here is Actions. Clicking this screen will take you to an additional window. Here you can auto-install mods. I do not recommend doing this. Adding an Orokin Reactor, this will double the capacity of your Warframe/weapon. Polarization, which allows you to use a Forma to place a polarity of your choice to the mod section. Swap polarities, which allows you to move polarities around to organize them. And Focus Lens, which we will not talk about here, but in a later video. Next, we're going to talk about mods themselves, more specifically the info on the mods. This is Intensify. The number up here is the cost of the mod, and the symbol to the right is the polarity. Down here is what the mod does, and as you can see, it increases our strength by 30%. Below it is the kind of mod that it is. In this case, Intensify is a Warframe only mod, meaning only Warframes can use it. And below that is the rank of the mod. When all are empty, this mod is at rank 0. Each lit up dot is an additional rank and will also increase the cost of the mod. Now, with all that information out of the way, let's move on to matching polarities and adding polarities to your Warframe. Matching polarities is very easy. As you can see here, I'm putting a mod with a V polarity into a slot with a V. Thus, this mod cost will cut in half, rounded up. If there was no polarity, then we would incur the full cost of the mod, which in this case is 11. Now let's say you were to put it into a slot that doesn't match. The mod cost would increase by 4, thus in this case Intensify would cost 14. You want to avoid this at all costs, as matching polarities is in your best interest. As a side note, matching the polarity of an aura mod would double the capacity. As an example, growing power would normally give you 7 capacity, but matching its polarity would give you 14 instead. Now, how do you add polarities? First, you will need a forma. These can be earned by getting blueprints from void missions, from special alerts, or can be bought from the market. Next, you need to get your Warframe or weapon to rank 30. From there, at the bottom of your screen, you will find actions. In this screen, select Polarization and select Forma. Now select a slot like so, and then a polarity will appear. Keep clicking till you cycle through until you see the polarity you need. Once done, hit apply in the bottom right corner to add the polarity to your Warframe. Do note this does reset the Warframe or weapon back to rank 0, and you will have to level it again to get it back to rank 30, at which point you can add another polarity. You want to do this so you can add bigger and better mods to help your Warframe or weapon get stronger. To give some extra tips when you are modding, you want to see how certain mods affect your Warframe's abilities. These mods are Intensify, Continuity, Stretch, Streamline, and Flow. What you should do is put each one on, one at a time, and see what they do to your Warframe. Let's give an example. As you can see, I put Intensify on the build once again, and thus my strength has increased by 30%. Now as we hover over the abilities, anything in green is what the mod affected. With this in mind, we can determine the best mods for your particular Warframe, as strength might not be good for certain frames, but duration and range are. The last and final tip is read your abilities. This is important to understanding what the Warframe does and how it functions within the game space and along with its other abilities. By skipping this step, you are doing yourself a disservice and not fully understanding how a certain frame plays. And that's the video. I do hope this helped you better understand the modding system and to assist in getting your own builds up and going. If you have any suggestions for other help guides you want to see, post them in the comments below. I hope to see you guys in the next video, so until next time, Envoys, bye!